Hello. Yippee! You see how easy it is just to mount and move. Whoa, well done. Wonder which equipment they used to do that. Yeah, because this is quite a high point going down. So yeah, it is, and the slope is quite intense. There is no sun today, unlike yesterday. Yeah, where did the sun go? This is afternoon time. You would be putting yourself at risk coming in the morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, very warm welcome. We have arrived here at the MILFORD Sound. So what will happen is I'm going to the area where you need to check into the cruise boat. I am late, so I need to speed up. So I need to speed up and go and sign in. So it's about 300 meters. So yeah, I'll be paying for the parking anyways, but it's gonna cost me $10 an hour, which is fine. So yeah, I met some people. They said hello to me, said hello back, and I asked them if they enjoyed the drive, and they said yes, it was amazing. Then I told them that yeah, the rain during this rainy season is the best time to come. They said yes, that the rain makes it magical. So yeah, good people to interact with, but little did they know that I have been driving for God knows when, ages. So yeah, after this trip, probably I need to be headed towards Christchurch area. So as you guys can imagine, that's a lot of driving for me. Yeah, and there's a lot of driving. You guys can always pause the video and have a read. Rain makes MILFORD Sound Pia Tahi, the 8th wonder of the world. I have not had time to get anything to drink. Seriously need to use the bathroom because I've been journeying non-stop. But anyways, we'll see how that will pan out. Maybe that car is for, maybe it's for the staff members, because usually they won't allow you to go in. So, cruise boats. Notorious native residents. Okay, that is the area that we need to go. Yeah, 10:45 a.m. cruise is going to be a tricky one due to fog and everything, but we'll see what happens when you go into the fjords. And what do we have here? Like I said, probably those cars should be cars for the workers because they won't allow you bring in your car. No special treatment for anybody. Please stay on footpath. It is raining. Cooked. Ridiculous. Maybe somebody pasted it on there by themselves. Yep, we are almost there at the cruise line. All right, we are reaching the area where we will check in and sign in good faith. What have they built here? Oh, sorry. Oh, there is bathroom on here. Finally. So, what does it say? Kia ora, welcome, MILFORD Sound. Alright, I've spotted my cruise boat for today. MILFORD Cruise. Okay, let me go and check in, guys. Thank you. See you guys later. Alright, folks, I've been given my boarding pass. MILFORD Sound, MILFORD Cruise. So I'll be heading inside for us to see what is going on. And I think it's just 2 minutes before I start. 2 minutes before I start boarding. Boarding is 10:45. So boarding is 10:45. So I need to move to the gate and go board. So you guys have seen the inside of the terminal. No need for introduction. 10:35. All right, so it's boarding time. Oh, sorry. I almost closed it on somebody. Platform 3. Where is platform 3? Milford Haven. Milford Sovereign. This is gate 7, so I need to go to gate 3. Okay, I've seen gate 3, so I need to go to gate 3. So that's one I'm going to be using. Milford Explorer, I believe. Maybe, may not be not, we'll see. Need to find my square root first. Okay, there's only one way to gate 3. Okay, that's fine.
Not us. They boarded 10 minutes before their departure time. So if you're 11 o'clock, it'll be 10 to 11.
Hi. I'm late for my cruise, 10:45.
Oh, yeah.
10,
Thank you.
10:45, gate 3.
All the
Thank
way
you.
down to the end.
So yeah, I'm on the small boat today. Good morning. How are you? Good. Hello. Left or right? Which one is the best?
Inside or outside? You mean? If you're outside, it doesn't matter, but if you're inside, left is the best.
Thank you. Hello. So left is the way to go rather than right.
Upper deck within these fjords, we are travelling on a layer of fresh water that overlays the salt water. We get this freshwater layer from the at times very heavy rainfall here in Fiordland, quite a damp part of the world. And it ends up somewhat discoloured as so much of that rainwater must pass down these forested mountainsides in the form of temporary waterfalls. When it's raining heavily here, there are literally thousands of waterfalls to be seen. On that journey down the mountainsides, the rainwater collects all sorts of organic material, tannin or tannic acid, various other leaf molds and so on, and it floats on top of the seawater simply because fresh water is a lot less heavy or dense than salt water. That layer will of course vary in depth depending on the rainfall we've had or having. 2 weeks without rain and the surface of the fjord is a brilliant sea blue, indicating little to no fresh water. After a consistently heavy downpour, that layer can get down to around 10 metres or so in depth. Under those circumstances, very thickly tannin stained, almost tea-like in colour. Beneath that darkest surface band of fresh water is a surprisingly clear, yet at times very low and light saltwater or marine environment, where typically very deep growing species of corals, sponge, other the shorter of the two permanent waterfalls here in Milford, dropping 480 feet or 146 metres. Quite difficult to see, but if you look just above the falls, you'll see a definite U-shaped valley there. They are known as hanging valleys, formed by smaller tributary glaciers grinding their way down from the sides. So if you can make out the shape of that valley above the falls over to the right there, that would give you a fairly rough idea of what the bottom contours of the fjord itself might look like. Waterfalls can start very quickly. Within 1 hour of heavy rain beginning, there are waterfalls everywhere. And then within a couple of hours of the rain stopping, more than 90% of them cease to flow. Fiordland is a relatively damp part of the world, averaging on 7 metres, around 22 feet of rain in a year. Which of course is only an average. 2020, for instance, was a slightly damp year here, recording 10.2 metres of rain. Now, it certainly doesn't rain every day. It's more so when it does, at times, it really does not mess around. The record for 24 hours of rainfall here at Milford is 26 inches or 630 millimetres. Now, just to put that into context, the City of London, England, which some people class as a damp town, averages just 590 millimetres annually. So we have seen in excess of that in a single day here in Fiordland. can see 3 milfoils that we refer to as being long-term temporary. So straight ahead of us here, dropping from a height of 80 metres straight into the fjord, we have the Fairy Falls. Ahead and to the right, dropping into the patch of flat forested land, the Bridal Vale Falls. And hard round to the right, over on the opposite side of the fjord, running from high up in the Palisades mountain range, the Palisades Falls. So these 3 are here for a lot of the year in one form or another, but given 2 to 3 weeks without rainfall in summer, and they will completely disappear. Whereas during winter, right through until quite late in the spring, they tend to have fairly consistent snow and ice melt feeds.
Oh, sorry.
You're right. See.
by today's terminology, sound is the wrong title for this area. So true sounds, like the Marlborough Sounds at the top end of the South Island, are river-eroded valleys that have been backfilled by the sea. Ancient riverbeds that typically begin inland, very narrow and shallow, but do progressively become deep and wide, especially out towards the coast. Whereas fjords, as we have here, are always glacially formed valleys. So they've been carved out by ice during the ice ages and then backfilled with the rise in sea level at the end of the last ice age. Now, these advancing glaciers would also drive ahead of them huge quantities of rock ground off the mountainsides. Then, on the glacier's retreat back up into the mountains at the end of each ice age, all of that rock was deposited out towards the entrance just ahead of us here. So the entrance to a true fjord tends to become relatively shallow. Just a couple of minutes as we cross out onto the coast, there'll only be around 60 metres of water beneath us, in contrast to the 300 further back inside the fjord. This big pile of rock and rubble building up below us, it's known as a terminal moraine or a glacial sill. They are a feature common to all true fjords, and you can see some of that moraine above the surface, just ahead on the left-hand shoreline, in form of most of the rocks and boulders over there. I say most, as that pile, for lack of a better term, has been topped up over the ages from time to time, with rock slips finding their way down from higher up on the left. The last one about 4 years ago, taking out a lot of trees along the way. But the bulk of the debris along that southern shore is terminal moraine deposited there by the glaciers. Ahead and to the right is, of course, the open Tasman Sea, named after Abel Tasman, the Dutch explorer and navigator, first European to sight New Zealand way back in 1642. Now, just a faint hint of a swell out here today, but it will still make for a change in the motion of the vessel, so just if you are standing or moving around the decks, please take that extra bit of care and make use of railings as necessary. We do have any parents or caregivers with very young children, it might be easier just to have them seated. And of course, please be careful with hot drinks. Certainly not every day that these passenger vessels here in Milford even venture outside of the fjord. Due to that ridge of terminal moraine that we've just crossed, acting as a very effective natural wave barrier, when we do see any really severe weather from the northwesterly quarter in particular, the change in conditions across the entrance can be extremely abrupt. So quite rare for cruises to be cancelled outright due to weather here in Milford, but not uncommon for everyone to have turned around about 500 metres ago and avoid the coast altogether. Just going to look along this little section of this rocky shoreline here. It's one area we know there to be nest sites for the Fiordland crested penguin. Not making any promises, but Marius seems to think he's found one, so if anyone's planning on getting a look at it, you'll have to find your way to the front of the vessel. Oh yeah, I can see one up that creek bed there, just ahead and to the left as well. I haven't seen Marius's one yet, but there's certainly one. Oh, there's quite a, yeah, one just making its way up, two, sorry, making their way up that creek bed, right on the vegetation line, one further up. Anyone struggling to see them, the best advice we can give, might sound a little facetious, look for the black and white thing.
Oh my god. If I had the Samsung 200 zoom, oh, they're hopping around. Record 6.
Difficult to get a handle on what size these birds are.
Are those penguins?
Generally,
Yeah,
a little over, for those who deal in the old money, a little over a foot in height. Foot and a half or so.
Oh, okay. Penguins. 1, 2, 3. 3 penguins. 4. Is it 4? I'm on 10x zoom, so I don't know how much. So yeah, I can see 1, 2, 3. One is jumping down now.
Oh, quite a few of them there. Pretty lucky, really, as they are said to still be the third rarest penguin in the world. So, what we do have reasonable luck seeing them at this time of the year, as it is their nesting season. They are only in the area for their nesting season, which runs from late July through to mid-December or thereabouts. We still certainly don't see them every single sailing. Certainly on the days we can't exit the fjord, makes it a lot less likely. headland we can see ahead and to the left there, St Anne's Point. That marks the southern approach to Milford. So if we were to head out and around St Anne's Point and follow the coastline down to the left, or in that southwesterly direction to begin with, we would eventually end up travelling past the 13 other fjords that make up the Fiordland National Park. If, however, one was to set off from St Anne's Point there on a due westerly course, they would want to be in a very seaworthy and extremely well-provisioned vessel, because heading due west from there, the next landfall does not occur until Argentina. Visually overlap and effectively block the waterway from our view. Let's imagine now from just a few miles further out offshore, and this can give the impression of the city just being so that's the most likely reason that the very noteworthy English explorer, navigator and cartographer, Captain James Cook, right past Milford on 2 occasions and finding the place. Now, he was the first European to discover and name many of the fjords further south of here, Milford being the northernmost in a series of 14. 70-degree angle. And if you visually follow that ridgeline back up to the left, you can see how it forms a couple of giant step-like shapes in the mountainside. So the top of each step is once a stop up at this rocky point coming up on the left. Nothing of a large rock right on the point, unfortunately, but there should be some New Zealand fossils lurking around the side. You may have seen a few of the water already today. Much more up to the but I can see there's one up there, right up by the tree line so far. First thing you'll notice about these animals is that they're not particularly large. In this fjord we see predominantly juvenile males that come in here to hide from the much larger adult males or the dominant bulls that rule the coastal breeding colonies. Fully grown, these little guys here, they could be anywhere up to 160 kilograms in weight and possibly 1.8 metres in length. And one I've seen so far is just hidden behind a rock. Get a better view of them around this side, but could just see it coming into view over to the left there. Oh, it's hardly a group at the moment, isn't it? That's the only one I've seen so far. Must be some fish life about keeping them in the fiord or in the water rather than out on the rocks. Is their standard routine is fish all night, sleep all day. They are typically nocturnal, but they are also very opportunistic and if the food's around, it will tempt them into the water during the day. Unfortunately, we can't get very close to that one there, so we might continue on and just hope we... Oh. Okay, so there's one trying to get out onto the large rock there. Apparently not every attempt's a success, but he got there. There we go, that's much better viewing, yeah. of us
Seal
around the
colour.
birds up there.
Seal. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Might be working a school of fish, we'll just slow down. But I doubt we'll see much with the watercolour being what it is today.
Oh, there's a seal inside the water.
There is?
Yeah. What is that?
With the watercolour being what it is, it won't be much viewing to be had really. There's Stirling Falls coming up on the left here, 480 feet or 146 metres high. Most really tend to agree that from down here the falls don't look quite that tall. Something that we locally refer to as the dwarfing effect, caused by these relatively tall mountains all around us. So just to put things into context, the mountain that serves as a backdrop to the falls straight ahead of us, Mount Kimberley, is 1,302 metres or over 4,000 feet high. That might put some scale to it for you. Of course, we always seem to have at least a few on board who feel it has not been a proper visit to Milford unless they've managed to get a little up close and personal with the waterfall. So we won't go charging right up to the base of the falls, but we will go about halfway through the spray zone there.
Brace. Yeah. That's what he's trying to say.
A lot of water.
Brace
If
to
that
be
doesn't
baptized.
sound like it's for you, head inside. Now. You did not have to wait out there for the best photo opportunity. All that's going to achieve is you'll find out that only one person fits through a door at a time. The best photos of the falls are gained off the rear of the vessel once we've cleared the spray and are heading away from the falls. So if warm and dry is your thing and you are currently outside, you have mere seconds to find your way inside. For those choosing to remain out there, that's fine. It's only water, fairly cool but unlikely to kill anyone. But please do take appropriate care of any non-water resistant cameras out there. Hide them under a jacket, something along those lines.
I do have enough battery to finish the tour.
Yeah, you got enough.
Yeah, but I need to apply heat inside to try out.
Were you able to?
Yeah. Yeah. But it can't charge anyways. Could you today's water already inside?
It's like I took a shower today.
Yeah, exactly.
Could be up to 20 commercial fishing vessels working out of Milford. They do not fish inside the fjords themselves. They just work the open fiordland coast for predominantly crayfish or Pacific rock lobster as it's known in some parts of the world. Per nautical mile of coastline, the fiordland coast would arguably be the most productive crayfishery anywhere in the world. and also somewhat exposed to the severe nor'wester. Those northwesterly winds can easily double in speed from whatever they blow out on the open coast as they're funnelled down the narrow confines of the fjord. You just have to slow down here. Very shortly you'll see a building come into view on the left, or at least what remains of it. It's the Milford Underwater Observatory, a floating structure, but it's supposed to be floating a little more than they would like currently. It sustained some quite severe storm damage a couple of weeks ago. Currently engaged in salvage work, so we just have to tootle past at a no wake speed.
What a order. Jeez. Yeah, I think there's another penguin out on the rocks, this rocky shoreline.
just ahead of us here. Yep. Standing side on, so can't see very much of the white at the moment. You see the little yellow crest above each eye. Dead ahead, just beneath the trees on the rocks there. We'll be able to get you a little bit closer than we could to the previous group, but it is just one out there.
Oh yeah. I think I saw him move. Is he close to the water?
Yeah, time doesn't stand still even for penguins, so we'll have to continue on. is the one that the road follows out from behind the tunnel. Up to the right, that marker. About half a kilometre south of the road, there's a place called Scenic. That marks the finish of a very popular walking track. About 12,000 people complete the mountain track every summer season. Their journey beginning in the northern end of Lake Ontario after a short boat ride. From there we'll spend the next 4 days wandering the 33.5 miles or 51 kilometres to South Auckland. At a relaxed pace, the longest day was Saturday, being no more than 6 hours walking. For some taking it fairly easy. We'll spend the 3 nights on the train around the huts and lodges depending on whether they opt for the independent or the fully gated guided walks respectively. Then from Sandflight Mill, they collected by a vessel that plies the river several times every afternoon during the track season, and then takes them on a short journey back around to the harbour. Like every walking trail in the area, there is some very impressive scenery to be taken in along the Milford track, including the country's tallest waterfall. Prior to 1953 and the completion of the Milford Road and Clark Tunnel, it was really the only practical overland access to Milford Sound. Bowen Falls on the left of the stop. Once again, they are Milford's tallest permanent waterfall at 160 metres or 526 feet. Just being a little out of the way for the National Grid. A few minutes, we'll be back alongside, so I'll just take this opportunity on behalf of the entire team at Cruise Milford, and of course Marius and myself, to say thanks for travelling with us today. We certainly hope you've enjoyed your time out in the fjord. Safe travels.
Thank you. What a ride. What a spectacular ride it was indeed. Under treacherous conditions, but we made it safely. We made it!
You deserve a hot chocolate. You do. We all do. Came from way too far not to be up here.
Yeah.
Right?
Damn it. What a journey it is. It was.
Yeah, probably only doing this once, so I don't want to sit inside.
I was there in the summer, but I didn't come in for the boat ride.
Oh, you were here before.
Yeah.
You did not do the tour?
You probably should have done
No,
it
I
yourself.
just drove, came here, drove back, drove back to Christchurch.
Too
So
much people or too many people? Too many people? Too busy?
No time?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can't imagine in the summer. But it's a pretty cool experience.
It's always busy. Every time, it's always busy.
How
Yeah.
many times have you been here?
This is my second time. Yeah.
Are you gonna come back again?
Maybe
You should.
if I have time. It depends on work. If I have free time in Auckland, I can fly down if the prices are cheap. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Not as rainy.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to get wet inside now.
How are you doing?
Let's get right out. We did it.
Did it.
2 hours and
All right, guys, that's the end of the tour. So a very big thank you to you guys for sticking around. Oh, time to get out of here. Jeez, it's not easy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry. Thank you. Oh, sorry, I didn't look around this place. Oh. Hashtag Milford Cruise. Okay. I didn't look around this beautiful, what do you call this, cabin? This is 343 configuration. Where's the business class? No business class on here? Oh, that's the captain's. Well done, well done. Thank you guys very much. Enjoyed the cruise. It was fantastic.
Could I ask you to do us a favour? When you get to the top of the gangway up there, would you be able to put the chain across?
Okay,
lock
sure.
the gate? Thank you.
No worries, I will do that for you. Thank you. See you. All right, that's the end of the show, guys. Yeah, where is the chain? I need to find it. Anyways, I hope you guys have all enjoyed, and a very big thank you to each and every single one of you. Hit the like button if you have enjoyed, and yeah, hit the like button if you've enjoyed. I'm trying to look for the chain. See, at the end of the gangway, maybe it's that one there. And yes, if you're new on here, please kindly smash the subscribe button. It does help us quite a lot, so that the quality that we're giving you guys would reflect the numbers. So yeah, please do us a favor and smash that like button. I believe this is the chain on the gangway. Yeah, I believe somebody has already done that. But anyways, as he has instructed, let me help them out. Come on. All right, so I've gotten that, but I will do it my own way. So I am out of here my own way. So yes, evidence. I have helped you guys. So yeah, thank you. Oh, so what a cruise it was. And yes, thank you guys very much. That was treacherous conditions. I'm all drenched up. My hands are frozen. But yeah, what a cruise it was. Oh, what a cruise. So yes, all I can say is a massive thank you to everyone involved in this cruise. It was not easy. It was easy it was not. Oh. Righty. Alrighty. Anyways, yeah, going back to the shed or to the center. And yeah, thank you guys very much and have a wonderful day. Thank you.